Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with the start of a new reading vlog that I'm very excited for. It is themed, and the theme is reading some wild romances. But first, I had to show off my sweatshirt. This says Stay Home Read a Romance Novel, and it is mine from the Ripped Bodice. So it has a picture of a romance novel with a couple wearing masks, and it was part of their like pre-order campaign that they had going on, and it came, I washed it, I'm wearing it, I love it. So I wanted to show that off to you guys real quick. I do think it was just a pre-order, so I don't think it's for sale anymore, but I had to show it off. I'm here to share with you my reading vlog that I'm going to be reading some wild romances. So I did my video where I was recommending the wildest romances I've read, both good and bad, and you guys had some really great comments, and then I pulled two off my shelves that I've been meaning to read that are also in the wild. So the first one I really want to read is going to be The Climb by Dia Daniels, and the person who commented said, "It's enemies to lovers romance between two climbers making their way to, while they're trying to summit, K2. K2 is the second highest mountain in the world behind Everest, and I had talked about in that video, I have a weird obsession with Mount Everest, like a weird fascination with it. I did when I was younger. I was super fascinated by it after reading the Everest series. I forget who wrote those, but like it was that, they're like little books. There's a trilogy. He wrote like the Island trilogy, the Dive trilogy, and the Everest one, and I loved all of those. I just love survival kind of stories, and the fact that they are falling in love while climbing a mountain. I really wanted something like that after reading the Kingmaker series by Kennedy Ryan. The guy goes to Antarctica and has to survive there just for a little snippet, and I'm like, I need more survival stories like that. And then I read Whiteout by Adriana Anders, loved it. So I'm so pumped for this book. I've downloaded it already. I'm gonna read it. I'm very excited. Then the audiobook I'm going to read, Someone Said Unloved by Katie Regnery. The hero lives in the woods in a cabin. The heroine injures herself hiking in the mountains, and this person did not tell me though that the guy's dad was like a mass murderer, and he thinks like he's inherited that from him, and so he's like living in the woods alone so it doesn't hurt people. So that's going to be very interesting. I feel like that's going to be a wild ride, and I'm very excited. My library does have the audiobook, so I'm going to be listening to that, and I'll probably finish that really quickly. Then I have two more that I'm very excited for, and was the reason why I did this video. So the first one's Love in the Wild by Emma Castle. This one, I saw it, I wanted it, I bought it, and now I have it, so I have to read it. It's a Tarzan retelling, and yes please, it looks like Alexander Skarsgård on the cover. I'm obsessed. So I think I'm going to read this first because I'm like really excited to read it. It is longer, but this is what I wanted to read. And then on the back we have Tarzan and Jane. I'm so excited. So I don't know anything else about this except for that it's a Tarzan retelling, and I think Jen from the Book Refuge already read it and she really liked it. So then I'm going to read Haven by Rebecca Weatherspoon, and I'm pretty sure this is book one. I have the first two, yes. And this one is I believe he's a nature photographer, and he lives in the woods with his dog, and this woman ends up being hunted by someone, so she needs his help. This sounds really amazing as well. I think it's also going to be a bit steamy. It is Rebecca Weatherspoon. This one's shorter, so it's 250 pages. I'll start with a longer book first and then read some shorter books. I do not have any school on Friday, which is very exciting. I'm filming this intro on Sunday, and it's the end of our quarter, so we get Friday off. So I'm gonna be reading a lot this week. I might finish all of these before Friday, probably not. I always set out and say, oh, I'm gonna read a ton in a week, and then I read like one book in 4 days and then catch up on the weekends. So we'll see how I do. I am currently doing my master's as well, so that takes up a bit of a chunk of my time, but I'm excited, very excited for all these romantic suspense. I'm gonna go read and talk to you guys when I have something to update you on. Hey guys, so I have read now at my parents' house. I didn't get to read as much as I thought I would. I've read 90 pages. I was there for 6 hours and read 90 pages. I just get sidetracked when I'm over there doing things, talking to my parents and stuff. So it's good so far. It's mostly a lot of like exposition in the beginning. Obviously that's where the exposition begins, but it is a lot of just like the backstory of Tarzan, and we get a prologue which is like in the later chapters, but then we flash back to like how his name's Thorn, how he grew up and how he got there, and how she ended up there, and then they're meeting. And so there's not too much romance right now. They like literally just kind of spent a little bit of time together because he finally like rescued her from a situation. But I'm enjoying it. It's really reminding me of Transcendence by Shay Savage because of the whole primal kind of aspect. He actually knows English, and I read a review where they were mad that Thorn, sorry, I'm gonna call him Tarzan, that Thorn knew English because he met someone about 5 years ago who taught him English and like told him about like the real world, but he still lives with the gorillas and in his little tree house. And so I'm fine with that. Like, it's not like he's superb at communicating with her. He still is very short and to the point with her, and I like though that they can communicate with each other. I do enjoy knowing like what he's thinking and what she's thinking, and we do get both perspectives as well, which I enjoy. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I have high hopes for the romance, but we'll see how it continues to go. Hey guys, I want to update you super quickly because in 8 minutes I have a live show on Bree's channel from 11 Words. I will be reading more of my Tarzan book and hopefully finishing it tonight. We'll see. I did start listening to Unloved by Katie Regnery. I'll have to look that up how to say her name, but it starts off very traumatizing. So if you have any triggers for loss of a loved one and grief, go in knowing that. Literally first page, it talks about her losing her fiance to a mass shooting. So drops you in and punches you in the gut. And it's been 2 years since then, and she's gonna go to this mountain that he loved, so she's gonna climb it to kind of feel closer to him. And we know that there's this man living in the mountains alone because his dad was a serial killer. He had a really hard time in school. That was hard to read too, with his bullying, and now he lives alone, and he feels like he can't have like any kids or anything because it's he doesn't want to pass down his dad's destruction to his kids, and he's afraid like he's gonna be like that too. And so I believe his mother passed away from cancer, and then I think his grandpa ends up dying because we have like a flashback to him when he's like 14, and I think he's alone. I think that's the premise of the book. So I think she like meets him. She doesn't know anything about hiking and decides to go in the woods by herself. So this one's fine so far. Love in the Wild. It's kind of slow, and kind of insta-lovey, but it's really fun so far and good. And I'm excited to see what happens next because she just did something. I can't spoil it, but something finally happened. So I'm 180 pages in, and like it felt kind of slow there because they were just spending time together, but now something's happening. So I'll update you guys after my live show. Hey guys, so it is Wednesday and I just got home from work. It's homecoming week right now, even though we don't have a homecoming, but we still have like fun things to do each week. So teacher's color today was black, and each class has a different color, but the teachers were black, so I was in all black today. But I wanted to come on here to chat with you about what I'm reading. I'm about halfway through Unloved by Katie Regnery, and it's fine. Like she still hasn't like left his cabin, so she got attacked and he found her and is like nursing her back to health, and they're like slowly starting to fall for each other, and that's pretty much all that's happened. I want like stuff to like pick up because like it was wild in the beginning because she was like trying to hike this mountain on her own, got attacked by someone and brutally attacked, and he's nursing her back to health. But then after that I'm like, okay, so she's just hanging out in his cabin. It's cute though because they read like historical romances together, which I thought was adorable, but she's just being nursed back to health right now. So it's fine. I just want something to happen. But I'm also almost to the end of the Tarzan book. I don't remember what it's called. This one, like some of the dialogue does feel a little cheesy and juvenile. Like the writing, I don't know how many books the author's written yet, but not like the best writing style, but it's still entertaining. It's still fun. Something's gonna happen. Like we're leading to the final conflict of dealing with the people who killed his parents, and so that's all coming to like a head soon, and so I'm interested to see how that wraps up. But definitely not a 5-star read. It's probably gonna be 4. We'll see how the ending goes. It might drop down to 3.5 star. I don't know. It's just good, but not like the best writing and the best romance I've ever read. It's still fun. It could have been better in my expectations of a Tarzan romance, but that's how it's going. Hey guys, so hopefully my glasses don't have too bad of a glare. I've got Darcy here, but I need the windows. It's really overcast today and I think it's gonna rain tomorrow too, but I have some updates for you. So I finished the Tarzan book. I don't remember what it's called. I finished that and I'm giving it 3.5 stars. It was fine. I was expecting more. It's just like sometimes the writing felt a little cheesy. The villain definitely felt like an over-the-top kind of villain, and things like wrapped up pretty quickly in the end. Hi, Miss Lowe. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was fine. It was just that. I don't even know what else to say about it. They obviously had to deal with the villain who killed his parents in the beginning, and it just felt like it all happened the way I thought it would. So nothing really super exciting. It was still a cute romance, but there was nothing really more than that to me, so 3.5 out of 5 stars. And then I have 2 hours left of Unloved by Katie Regnery, and this one's fine as well. We finally have something else happening though. It's very character driven, so it's them in his house the whole time, and they're getting to know each other and falling in love. And I'm like, but like, you're in a mountain in the middle of the wilderness, like go do something fun. And they don't. So something just happened though, like they finally left his house. And that's what I really want, like in kind of wilderness survival stories. I want them to be out and like suspenseful and like doing stuff. And this didn't have that. It had it in the very beginning, and then she was just like recovering in his cabin for 2 weeks. And that's it. So maybe I'll get more action now in the last 2 hours of the audiobook, but it's just romance. Which I like romance, but I like plot with my romance. So I do care about them as characters. Like Cassidy's adorable, and I feel really bad for him that he feels like he can never love someone or have kids or anything because he doesn't want to pass down genes from his dad, who's a psychopath. That's really it. And like, she's still grieving over her fiance who passed away, and now she doesn't understand why Cassidy's so closed off and pushing her away because he won't tell her why. But like, that for 200 pages is fine. Like, I wanted something more to happen, but something more is happening finally. So I'm probably gonna finish that by tomorrow, and I started 2 pages of The Climb and fell asleep. So I'm gonna read more of that tonight. I wanna get a good chunk of it done and then start the next book tomorrow by Rebecca Weatherspoon. Hi guys, so I'm here with little Miss Stars. Lily's sleeping right over there, but I am 7% into The Climb, and this is like the romance I've been wanting, because this starts out and they're starting to summit K2 already, and he's with a group who's climbing, and 2 people have already died. And it's really interesting because some of them are way more affected by it than others, but they're all pretty seasoned climbers and have climbed a bunch of mountains before. Some of them have done K2 before, some of them don't without oxygen, and like all that stuff, because there's like a hierarchy of like who climbs and who's like better than anybody else because of how they climb it. And so 2 people have died, and their guide has quit. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. He's not like getting along. He feels guilty that he's the reason why those 2 people died, so he's leaving, and they're sending a new guide in. And her, I don't know her name, she though I assume is going to be the love interest, and it's like she's climbed K2 7 times and reached the summit without oxygen. She's like got the record for being the woman who's reached the summit the most, and so we haven't even met her yet, but I think they're gonna have their romance. And we're just getting started. They're like literally gonna be climbing the mountain and falling in love. So this is literally what I wanted in a romance. So I'm excited. Now I want to like look up Everest movies to watch, but I don't know if there's any good ones. I watched one. I don't even remember what it was called. It was really sad. I feel like any Mount Everest movie is sad because people are gonna die. And I know John Krakauer was a character in the movie, so I think it was like the horrible storm that he wrote his book about, whatever it's called, the really famous Into Thin Air, because I know he wrote that about that. But I'm really interested because I was talking to another teacher at school about Everest like last year, and she had read Into Thin Air, and so I have Into Thin Air, but I think someone else on the expedition also wrote a book from a very different perspective about like how not awful it was and how like you shouldn't be scared of Everest. I'm interested to read the different perspectives, so I probably want to read those hopefully soon, the nonfiction accounts of climbing Mount Everest, because it's just fascinating to me. But this is what I wanted. I'm very excited. So they're gonna go start climbing up the mountain, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited to meet her and see how she interacts with our love interest. It's only 7-11, but I'm gonna read all night because I have tomorrow off. I think my sister and I though are gonna go vote early because I don't want to wait till election day, because I actually have to go to school on election day. School's closed because a bunch of our elementaries are used as polling locations, but it's a teacher work day, and I don't want to go after school and have to be like stuck in a long line. So I looked it up on how to vote early because I've never voted early before. I've just voted on election day normally. I'm gonna go there tomorrow. They're open during the weekdays from 8 to 5 to vote early, so I'm gonna go do that tomorrow. Okay, bye. I'm only slightly annoyed. So it's been like 2 seconds since I last talked to you. I'm on 8% now, and she just got out of the helicopter, and he said, oh, they just sent a new guide that's gonna jeopardize the entire expedition. How's a man supposed to concentrate with a face like that around? They'll be falling off the mountain left and right. And that felt like very cheesy to me, and I was like, oh, I hope this isn't a sign this book is gonna be cheesy, but hopefully it's not. I don't like how we immediately talked about her, but I'll continue reading and keep you updated. Hi, so I am 13% in, and I just want to tell you what kind of romance this is. It is definitely hate to love. She knows of him. I forget what his nickname is, like King of the Peaks or something. He's very well known. He's British, he's rich, he's done a lot, and she's well known too, but they're both 40 as well. I think they're both 40. At least he's elder 30s, she's 40, which I like older character romances too. So she hates him because she blames him for the death of one of her friends on a different summit up to a peak on a different mountain. So she blames him for her friend's death, and she hates him. But everybody has like a bunkmate but him, Kai. So Kai and Annika have to bunk together as well. So this is gonna be very interesting. I'm very, very intrigued. Very excited. I am enjoying their romance. Well, they're like hate right now, so we'll see how it goes. So I was just cutting out some new sleeves for next week for my Etsy shop. I want to show you guys some masks that we have. This one is my favorite. We have lots of different kinds in the shop right now. Show you all of them. Got some Star Wars. Lots of pretty fall ones that are still up there that haven't sold yet. We haven't made any more recently, so these are all still up there. These are all the sleeves I have currently in the shop. If any of you are interested, we have some tie-dye, pumpkins, flowers. We have this rainbow. We have these unicorns. I always have a coupon code down below for 10% off if you guys are interested. 2 Kindle Fire sleeves, Star Wars, and then the rainbow. And then I also have the rainbow in the indie size, some pumpkins, skulls, skull skeletons, all that stuff. These are already in the shop. Those are what I'm cutting for next week in the shop, and all those masks. 10% off with the coupon code down below if any of you are interested. Hey guys, so I'm here with an update. It is Friday. I have the day off today, so I got to go on a run, and then I walked my dogs, and I finished Unloved by Katie Regnery, I guess is how you pronounce it. That's how the audiobook narrator pronounced it. I thought it was Regnery, but I think it's Regnery. And I'm giving this 4 stars. I ended up really enjoying it. Some people said the ending was unbelievable, but I really liked the ending. I liked how everything wrapped up. I can't spoil anything, obviously, but the romance was really sweet. Cassidy, I don't know if I already said it, but reminds me a lot of Archer from Archer's Voice. I think if you like that kind of romance, you would love Unloved because Cassidy is kind of secluded like Archer was, and people definitely have opinions about him, and that's why he's secluded. He's terrified he's gonna inherit his father's evilness, I guess, and feels like he doesn't deserve love. They fall in love and he's terrified, and I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I ended up giving it 4 stars because in the middle it just kind of felt very slow, and I'm like, I wish they went out and did something, but they did like one thing, but I wanted more action involved than just like watching the romance progress. This was very much centered around the romance because they're literally in a cabin in the middle of the woods alone, so you really only had the romance to pay attention to. But other than that, it was really adorable. Love the audiobook. Definitely recommend the audiobook. I've listened to that narrator before, the female at least. I don't remember what I've listened to her narrate before, but I've definitely heard her before, so I like her. Oh, do you like my new fuzzy sweater? It's my new quarter zip I got from Kohl's. I get one like every year. I think my last one was from Kohl's, and they're so cozy, and I already want to buy another one. My sister and I both bought one and a couple other things, so we got some Kohl's cash, and we're like, should we order another color in this? Because it's so cozy, and it's got pockets on these sides. And I got purple because I don't have any purple quarter zips. You guys know I live in sweatshirts and quarter zips, so that is me on the weekends. I wear dresses every day to school, so wearing this. But okay, then I am 50% into The Climb by Daya. I don't remember the author's name. I'll look it up later, but I'm 50% in, and it's good. It's like what I want in a climbing adventure romance, but I don't know how much I love the romance. So the guy kind of bothers me. I've already said some things he said that are kind of like, eek, I don't like you. He seems very misogynist, I feel, and so he doesn't talk about our love interest Annika in that great of a way, but there's like a hate to love thing kind of going on, and she is grieving over the death of her husband, so we do get that. So trigger warning for loss of a loved one. She deals with that a lot. There's a lot of death in here too. So they're obviously climbing a mountain, and it's a deadly mountain. It's the 2nd highest in the world, and people try to do stupid things to break records. So like climb it without oxygen and climb it super fast and to do that, you're really risking your health, and because you have to acclimate yourself to the, what's it called? The atmosphere, the elevation, and some people don't do that. And what's interesting though, because I remember seeing this, I think last year, a couple years ago, Mount Everest had its like warmest summer, and so it was like literally backlogged, people trying to reach the top. And so it's dangerous to be up in that altitude. That's the word I was looking for. It's very dangerous in the altitude, not just the cold. And so people were like sitting at that altitude in line to get to the top. There was just this image, I'll try to find it and put it here, of people like lined up down the mountain waiting to get to the top, which is super dangerous. And so they got to a point where it was packed, the camp that they were at, and that's very dangerous. So I thought that was interesting. The author obviously has done a ton of research for this book, which I really appreciate. I even like looked up, they talked about one of the disasters in 2006, 2008, and I looked it up and it was a real thing that happened. And like they talked about the bottleneck is like the most common route taken, and it's like a vertical climb at one point, and I'm just like, who does this? But the author does a great job of encapsulating this like climbers high people have. It's like a drug to them, and they talk about that, like they are addicted to climbing and they do it all the time even though it's super dangerous. Someone just fell off the mountain, so someone they knew. That's all I'm gonna say. That's a little bit of a spoiler, but like it's things like that are happening. So I honestly don't even know out of the group who's gonna survive. And it's interesting how they have different perspectives about death. Like some of them are like, it's part of the job, sorry, while others are really traumatized by it. So that's really interesting. But with the romance, it's okay. Like I said, I don't really like Kai's attitude towards women, and there's one point where this is a little spoilery, so but I have to explain it to explain why I'm not liking Kai. So there was a point where the ground beneath Annika gives way and she's dangling off the side of the mountain, and Kai is like the one holding her up because he like got his axe down in time on her jacket, and her jacket's ripping, and he's letting her dangle there while he gives her ultimatums about how she's treating him. He's like, you're gonna let me call you your nickname, you're gonna let me call you whatever I want, you're gonna stop badgering me about how much I lie to you. And she's literally, her coat is ripping, she's about to fall off this mountain, and I'm like, that's not cool. Seriously, not cool. And like it happens and she's angry, but then it's like no one really cares. So I was like, I'm not into this guy whatsoever. So I'm having a really hard time liking Kai, but I'm getting the climbing atmosphere I want. So I'm gonna keep on trucking through. I'm loving the story, just not the romance, if that makes sense. So okay, I got a couple of videos to film. I'm gonna take some Instagram pictures. Okay, and I'm gonna go vote today. My sister's gonna come with me. We're gonna go vote when she wakes up. So those are my plans today. Where are you going? Ignore all the blankets. We haven't moved them yet. Darcy really wants to cuddle, but I have to film a video, so she's sad. Hi. Hey guys, I'm here with little Miss Lily. Darcy just moved over there in front of me. But hello, I'm in some Hello Lovely gear today. It is Saturday. I had a Zoom meeting with the people I'm hosting the Bridgerton read along with, which I'm very excited. I just posted my announcement this morning, and we are hosting the readathon for the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn, leading up to the release date on Christmas Day of the series on Netflix, which is very exciting. And Julia Quinn even shared our readathon, which is super exciting. It's through a Discord group. So if you're interested, let me know. Just message me for it. Darcy's leaving me. But I did finish The Climb by Daya Daniels, and I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I loved the climbing aspect of it. So good, so heart pumping, especially towards the end. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's some twists thrown in there that I wasn't expecting. And I do want you guys to know this deals a lot with grief though, because Annika does talk about losing her husband a lot and still grieving over that, and Kai's kind of mean about it. So the reason it's getting 4 stars is because of the romance. One, I wasn't that big of a fan of the language used when talking about explicit scenes, and the actual scenes themselves were very cheesy, and I did not like the writing style whatsoever. I was like, this is... So I didn't like that. And sometimes like they use like sexual language to describe like the mountain, and I didn't like that either. And especially with Kai and his friend Sebastian, that just like, I was like, why is that necessary? But the ending also felt kind of far-fetched. but I loved the climbing aspect of the book. And the romance was decent. So I'm giving it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. There were just a couple things I wasn't a fan of, but other than that, really, really good book. So I'm excited that I read it. Now I really want to watch some documentaries on mountain climbing. And there's one I think on Netflix called The Summit about the K2 disaster in 2008. And I really want to watch it, but my sister doesn't. She says she doesn't want to watch anything depressing, so she's not going to watch it with me. So I have to watch it sometime without her, maybe when she's working. I really want to watch it. I think it's only an hour and a half. I don't know if it's like a movie reenactment kind of thing or a documentary. I think it's a movie, but we'll see. I'm gonna start Rebecca Weatherspoon's book last. I'm very excited. I'm gonna try to finish it today. It's really short. It's less than 300 pages. So it's like almost 1 o'clock. I do have a video to film. I have to finalize my essay for my master's and turn that in. I want to get some stuff done with my Etsy shop and then read some. Oh, and I didn't tell you. So I tried to go to vote yesterday. In Ohio, if you want to vote early, you can vote early from 8 p.m. to 5 p.m. during the weekdays right now at your county's place. I forget what it's called, like their board of elections, I think is what it's called. So each county has one. I live about 25 minutes outside of the city, but I am in the city's county. I live in Franklin County. We have 1.3 million people who live in my county. I didn't even register this when I went to go vote. That means one building for 1.3 million people to go vote early. When my sister and I arrived at this building, the line was literally down the block and we still could not see the end. And we were just going there because we want to try to get it done and we thought it'd be a quick stop. So we did not budget for that time. So we didn't end up voting yet because we didn't know how long it would take and we didn't want to sit in line. So I'm gonna try to vote next Saturday because it opens on the weekends next week, and try to go super early. And I know I don't have anything to do that day, so I can wait for like an hour if I have to. It's just nuts. But I think it's the craziest thing is that my county has one building you can go to vote for early, and we have 1.3 million people. My parents' county has 160,000 people who live in there, and they also have one building, which doesn't make sense. So I'm kind of annoyed that I'm super excited that so many people were out to vote. That's amazing. And especially early voting, because I'd never even considered voting early. I always vote on election day, but I was worried that they would be busy on election day and I work that day, so I don't have that much time to go vote. I could go after school, but I don't know if it would be just like super long wait. It's crazy that there's so many people voting early, but it is crazy that we have one building to vote early at for 1.3 million people, because I live right outside of the largest city in the state, and I'm part of that county. I'm so excited it was that busy, but I just have to accept the fact that it's gonna take me a very long time to vote. So try again next Saturday when they finally open up on the weekends to vote early, but go vote. Your vote matters and you should go out and vote. Research how you can. I had to research how to vote early because I've never done it before. But I wish I'd gone in the morning, but my sister worked. So we were waiting until I was waiting until she woke up so that we could go together, but I should have just gone early because that was my only day off I have on a weekday between now and election day. But it's fine. All right, I'm gonna go film my video. They're gonna be mad because I'm ignoring them, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Why are you getting up? I was just gonna show everybody how cute you were. You gotta stretch first. Oh, look at you. You're so cute. With your little tail wagging. Hey guys, I'm here with Little Miss Darcy, and I have been reading more of Haven. I'm gonna take a break because I have to grade some essays, but I'm really enjoying it. So they meet because she is being attacked, Claudia is being attacked in the woods by a serial killer, and so she runs and finds his house. He rescues her, and it's actually taking place like 6 months after that, where they both can't stop thinking about each other and they really are grieving over what happened and still traumatized over what's happened. And so Claudia lost her brother. She's not really going back to normal life really well, and Shepherd is still really thinking about her a lot. And this is the Beards and Bondage series, so there is some BDSM elements in here. He has this desire for that to kind of deal with his trauma or emotions over what happened, and she is back to visit him because they had like a really close bond because of what happened. He saved her and spent a lot of time with her. So we're at that part right now. I really love Rebecca Weatherspoon's writing and just the atmosphere she creates with it. I really enjoy it. They're at his cabin right now in the middle of the woods, but there's actual like technology and streaming and plumbing and stuff like that. So not like Unlovable by Katie Regnery where there was no plumbing, no electricity whatsoever. But I'm enjoying it and I'm excited to read more and see where their relationship goes. Hi! You okay, Darstars? Miss Lily. Normally, this is Darcy's spot when there's just the two of them. It's okay, Darcy. I know. I did finish Haven by Rebecca Weatherspoon, and I'm giving this 4 to 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I wish there was more to the plot than just their physical relationship, because after they like reunite, it's like 70% of the book is their physical relationship. And I did enjoy though how a lot of their trust with each other and their own trauma was connected to their physical relationship. There's just a lot of depth to it, and especially how Claudia, I think was her name, was feeling about what had happened. She's not dealing with it well. She has multiple panic attacks and she just needs someone to take control of her, and that's where she wanted to explore that kind of relationship with Shep. He was burned in the past, and so he's very hesitant, and they both fall for each other though, and then conflict happens near the end that kind of breaks them up, but it was cute. I really liked it. I really liked how it took that kind of more serious look at what happens when you lose someone and go through that and grieve and go through that kind of trauma and you're not okay. And Claudia had to acknowledge that she was not okay and figure out how she can overcome that and live with that, I guess, afterwards. And so I like this. So just the beginning, probably like the first like 20 pages had to do with Claudia escaping the serial killer and Shep saving her, and then the rest was her and Shep figuring out their relationship. So it was really good. I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of depth to their relationship beyond just a dom-sub relationship. It had a lot to do with their mental, emotional states, their ability to trust, and dealing with the trauma they went through. So I did really love this. I couldn't stop. I finished it in a day and a half, so I cannot wait to pick up book 2. Shep is just your sweet mountain man, and I just wanted to hug him. He was so nice, so caring for Claudia. I loved him. Like, I would live in the mountains with him. I love him. So that is my Reading Wild Romances vlog, most of which I got recommendations from you guys, so thank you for that. So good. I think I had all 4-star reads. I don't remember if any of them were 5-star, but at least all 4-star reads. One of them was 3.5, but a good reading vlog, I would like to say. So that was fun. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed all those books. A lot of depth in the emotions and relationships that all these people went through, living together in the wilderness or going through a really wild experience together. So that was fun. I need more mountain climbing romances, so if you have something like The Climb, let me know. Ooh, Lily's leaving my lap now. You okay? She's gonna go into her corner. You wanna come here, little one? Come here, Darce. Let me know if you have any more recommendations for me for some wild romances, and I hope you enjoyed this vlog, but that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.